All right. Welcome to our Collab and Connect in 2025. That's what we're doing here. It's going to be so great. Um, if you have noticed, your SSDs are probably on the call, and some might not be on the call. If you've noticed, we've been connecting with you as a group of SSDs in your Facebook groups with your teams. It has been really fun to see the engagement or lack of engagement that is on each of our groups. Um, but our goal is to connect and collaborate with all of you as superstar directors. And we really, really, really want to see you collaborating and connecting with us as well. So if you're saying yes to anything this year, say yes to connecting on social media in your team page. Make sure your notifications are on for your groups because there's so many notifications. And honestly, if you don't want to go look at all the things, you could just save or bookmark on your computer if you do it on your computer, or you could on your phone. What is it? There's a way that you can highlight your groups. You can highlight your groups so that you, or your shortcuts, you put it in a shortcut and you can just go directly to the group on the daily regular because there are some really, really great things that are getting shared in all of the groups by so many leaders, your directors included. So make sure that you are connecting on your social media Facebook group with your teams and also make sure that you are collaborating, which means like commenting, sharing, liking, participating. Because the more you do, the more connected that you're going to feel with your team and with us as a group of Sensi family members. So we're excited for 2025. We're trying something new. We'll see if it helps, but we're here to try all the things. We're just like doing all the things to help you be successful in your business and to help you accomplish the goals and dreams that you have for this year. So, with that, in the comments, I want to hear what's your big goal for the year with Sensi? What is something you want to achieve this year with Sensi? Drop it in the comments and we'll talk about them a little bit. See who's first. Who's going to be the first one? Oh, Shalonda, to add team members, get back to director, get my team feeling more connected in the group as a whole. Yes, yes. Get back on track and be active every month. Yes, Kelsey, I love that. 250. Add 10 new frontline. Okay, I see you, Bonnie. That's a good one. And the great thing about this is you can still any of these ideas that people share. Any of them you can share. Get back to director and consistency. Yes. Consistency is key. I love it. I love when we share these things with each other because then we become accountable to each other, right? We know what we want and we can have accountability buddies that we can connect with that you are just helping each other all the time. How many of you have an accountability buddy or maybe an accountability group? Maybe your director or your leader or your little posse has a little group where you're accountable to each other. That is something that's really important. If you don't have one, I encourage you to reach up and reach out to someone that you want to connect with and that you think will help keep you accountable, with motivating you, with helping you feel inspired, because that's ultimately what we as a Cincy family want to do for each other. We want to help each other be connected. Um, so with that, I wanted to share a little bit about our leadership retreat that we had last week. Myself, Jennifer Scott, and Billy Joe went to leadership in Cancun last week, and we had an amazing opportunity to hear from Dan. The message he shared on the Zoom last week was the same message he shared with us. So you all heard what he had to say. And I'm going to share my favorite quote that he had on one of his slides. It says, Hope has dirt on her face, blood on her knuckles. You can say there, his, her, the grit of cobblestone in her hair, and just spat out a tooth as she rises for another go. Is that so cute? I love that. Just like the grit that we have to muster and just trudge through all the things that are thrown at us every day, whether it be family stuff, outside sources, community, work, Scentsy, you name it. But we all have the drive in us to come out better on the other side. So we talked about these focus areas: new customer acquisition, customer engagement, new consultant acquisition, and consultant engagement. These four things, Cincy is focusing in on hard this year. New customer acquisition. What does that mean? New customers, period. The end. That's it. How many new customers have you met in the last month? Have you gotten a new customer in the last month? You can just think about that in your head. I had one, I think. No, I know she was one. I may have had more, but one for sure. I know because I shared on my story the Bring Back My Bars, and it's a friend from school. Like our sons play football together, and she saw Lucky in Love and was like, "Oh my gosh, I need Lucky in Love." She went and ordered like 30 of them, and I was like, "Girl, you need to just do Scentsy Club." She joined Scentsy Club. Now she has a subscription to get her Lucky in Love every month, so she's in heaven, right? So that's the new customer acquisition. Then you have customer engagement. How are you connecting with your customers? Did you message your customers about the sale that's happening tomorrow? That's customer engagement. We have to be focusing on those two things all the time. Customer acquisition, customer engagement, whatever it looks like to you. It could just be texting your customers. You don't have to do mailers. My mailing expense line is like going from this to nothing this year. That's one budget line item that I can cut out as much as possible. So I have to think of different ways to share things with my customers. Yes, Angie, sell tomorrow. Angie wasn't on the Facebook group today. Bookmark it, girl. It's happening tomorrow. What time? Anybody know? 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Abnormal time. Totally not a normal time. Much better than 3 a.m. though, right? Um, then we have new consultant acquisition. I know, I love you, Angie. She's been at work all day, guys. It's fine. It's fine. Um, Number three is new consultant acquisition, and number four, consultant engagement. So number three is for you finding new consultants, new team members to join your team to share the love of Scentsy. They could come from existing customers. It could be new people that you've met from your new customer acquisition. But then consultant engagement, number four, is something that we all here are doing right now, showing up to these calls every month, because we're going to be having these calls every month this year. And last year, our call numbers were pretty low, like maybe 5 to 10 of us, right? But as a group, we collectively have so much strength and knowledge to connect with each other. So that is our goal, is to connect with you and be engaged. Those four things are the building blocks of momentum, and that is what we are all about this year. Momentum shifting to the positive side of business. We've felt, probably all of us have felt a little bit of a decline, maybe not as your sales haven't been as high as maybe they were during COVID or the year after COVID, but we have the power and the ability to change that. We are the ones that can make that shift happen. So we have to do it. So I wanted to share a few things that people talked about. We had five, six, one, two, three, four, five, six, whoa, seven, eight. Sorry. We had 8 consultant speakers. They talked about those 4 things. What were they? Do you remember? New consultant acquisition. I'm sorry, new customer acquisition, customer engagement, new consultant acquisition, and consultant engagement. They all talked about those various things. So I'm just going to share one little tidbit from each of the people that shared. So Colette Ganell, who is one of the creators of Scentsy, she talked about leading with influence. So she talked about relaunching every new catalog. You need to relaunch your business. Relaunch it as if you were a new consultant. List of 100, open house, a launch party. When was the last time you had a party in your house or invited all your customers to come shop? Just with your testers. You don't have to have product, just testers on the table and have a fun time together. Jessica Shea, she talked about events, finding new customers through events. When was the last time you did an event? Whether it be a school event, maybe a community event. I'm always seeing events on Facebook, different things in the community that are happening. And that's a great way to meet new customers. Carla Hunter talked about customer service. She said, nothing will ever trump follow up. Nothing will ever trump follow up. And it's literally at your fingertips. You touch it every day. You are on your phone every day. That's where you can do all of your follow up. That's where we need to be focusing on our follow up. Pause. Someone's asking for the link. Can someone text me the link real quick and then I can send it on, please? Because I can't do that and talk at the same time. Okay. The next one was, oh, Carla also said teach follow up. So teach yourself how to do follow up. And if you don't know how, learn how to do follow up and find a system that works. And the system that works is the only, thank you, Spree. The system that works, the best system for you is going to be the system that you use. What's that saying? A system is only as good as it is used, right? Thanks, Teresa. Okay, I got the link. I'm good. So learn your follow-up system and do it. That's the important thing. Just do it. Scentsy Connect is a great tool to use. A great tool to use. But there are also lots of other great things that you can use. You don't have to solely do that. You can use lots of other things which are great. Nicole Furlan talked about customer service. She said, create loyal customers. And how do you create loyal customers? By looking for ways to make their experience memorable. So what am I doing to make my customer's experience memorable? Think about it. What do I do? Shout some things out in the comments. What do you do to make your customer's experience memorable? I used to give a free scent circle if they came to my house. I would just drop it in their bag. Super easy. Oh, here's a little goodie for you, right? I often do cotton cleanups now because that's a great thing to market to customers that are buying wax. Some people love to bow up their packages and make them look really pretty, like a gift almost. All right. And then Jacqueline Roy, she talked about how to find new team members. She said, be hopeful. Don't discredit the opportunity that you have to share. Um, she also talked about never being caught Scentsy naked, which is funny. Um,
That happened to me the other day. And
yeah,
I forget what I had. I had just, I had a sticker on the scent circle that was just like my website, but with the note of hanging it freely. I'm like, it's right here. It's right
you're
here.
so small. Yes. So she talked about a 50-10 rule every month. So I want to put this out there as a challenge, maybe like as a focus for you guys. For us, not you, me. I'm doing it too. Um, 50 samples a month. Hand out 50 samples a month. Make them, have them ready, and have them with you wherever you go and hand them out. You can't just have them, you have to give them away. And then the 10 part of it is have 10 join conversations a month. So 50 samples a month, 10 join conversations. So that's something we all can do. She also talked about having a Tic Tac bottle container, and it had a little label on it with a QR, and it said, "You were meant to join my team." She's like, "These are great to just give away to people." And it has a QR code. People aren't going to just throw it away. They're probably going to use the Tic Tacs because who doesn't like a good Tic Tac, right? Jen Audette, um, she talked about this was a great quote, and I probably wrote it down not correctly, but this is the gist of it. She said, "In the good times, we have to prepare for the bad times. In the bad times, we have to prepare for the good times," which I thought was really interesting, like thinking about that. Okay, so in the good times, we prepare for the bad, and in the bad, we prepare for the good. So right now, depending on where you're at, you may be feeling really good about your business right now. So it's time to prepare for the bad. And if you're feeling kind of not so great, it's time to prepare for the good. So let's dive in and dig deep. Um,
Can I add something real quick, Lindsay,
yes.
that Jacqueline said?
Yeah.
I thought this was really, really cool, and it really she had it under new team members, but I thought this was really good for customer engagement. She said, get customers to review your
Ooh,
products.
yeah.
Ask customers to go on your, like, if you've got a VIP group or just Facebook or wherever you're trying to gain customer attention, and have them review something and find a way. I mean, you can find a little way to incentivize them for that, a free scent circle, or just, a free bar from your inventory or whatever that is, but getting them to do that, because it's easy when we sell the product for people to think we're going to say everything positive, but when you get a customer to do it, there's kind of that additional buy-in.
Definitely. I love that. I love that for sure. And Jen Audette also talked about how to increase consultant activity. She said you do that by getting them to events. So I think most everybody on here is probably going to World Tour, hopefully somewhere. But that would be a great spot to just get a taste of how much Scentsy cares and loves and wants all of us to succeed. It's such a great, great event. Tracy DeMario, didn't write much about her, but I did write pick up the phone and ask. So pick up the phone, talk to your customers, potential new team members, pick up the phone and ask. Um, then Kelly Rashaw, she talked about how people need us. People need us to stay in the boat. People need us to lead and to connect. And as we do that, we will find success. She gave this coach, I can't remember what it's called, and I didn't get all of them because she didn't give us all of them, and I didn't go find her later. But she talked about culture a lot and leading with love, and Dan talked about that as well on the call last week. If you haven't listened to it, you definitely want to go and listen to it. Um, but it was just great to hear from leaders different perspectives, different experiences, because they all work their business so differently, just like all of us work our business differently. But we can all find success in the way that we do it if we're willing to try something that we're not used to doing. So I think that that is really, really important.
Really
Um,
quick with Kelly too, when she was
yeah.
talking about the coaching, one of the things or you said culture, but I was thinking of her. I was reading down in my notes on
Yes.
her, and she was talking about also needing to be a coach. And she said, being a coach isn't just saying, I'm here if you need me. If you're
Oh,
a coach, you have to lead and support. So it's you understanding where somebody needs you. So it is that personal reach out. That's that direct one on one. And that's really letting your team know that you see them, you hear them, you acknowledge them. It's so much more than just saying, hey, shout me out if you need something, because that's just, again, asking them to initiate that conversation. As leaders, as coaches, we need to be the ones initiating that conversation.
100%. And I also think that can apply to customers. I mean, how many times have I said to my customers, "Oh, let me know if you need anything." Like, like I'm putting it in their court. I'm putting the ball in their court when ultimately the ball is in my court. Today I had this thought. I need to text my customers just a follow-up text, and I didn't do it yet. It's on my agenda for tomorrow. I've got an hour blocked. But just like reaching out, hey, I'm putting in an order. Do you need anything? That's not something I do, but it's something I've taught. I've encouraged people to do it, but it's not something I have actually done. So I'm putting my what's the phrase? I'm putting my mouth foot where my mouth is, or I'm putting my mouth where my foot is. Something like that. Because that's how we grow. And like who if I got a text from someone that I buy stuff from, like, why wouldn't I be like, oh my gosh, yeah, I actually do need this, or oh, I'm good. Like, no skin off my back, right? So putting yourself out there, making an effort, and just doing the work, right? Do the work for sure. Okay, so then I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the changes that are happening. I know hopefully you've all seen, read, listened, heard Dan talk about the changes that are happening. And I just wanted to see if there were any concerns, if anybody had any concerns, questions that you wanted to talk about. We are here to talk about it. I think one of the biggest changes for a lot of people is going to be the PRV requirement going from 200 to 250 to be active. In 2017, from 2004 to 2017, the PRV requirement to be active was $150. And it was, you had to do 150 in one out of every 3 months, not 12. It was every 3 months you had to do $150. So if you think about that, that's $600 in a year. Okay. So it moved from 150 to 200. And I think at that point they were still at every 3 months, but then they changed it to once a year. So it was $200 once a year. So current now, come March 1st, it will be 250 in a calendar month. Um, so if you think about it, breaking that down, maybe some of you could do some brainstorming real quick. What could I sell to get 250 PRV? Drop it in the comments. What could I sell? If I were a consultant and I needed to get active, what is one thing I could sell? What are 15 things I could sell? What are 33 things I could sell? Okay, how many five six packs? Oh, I'm trying to do some math because the prices of those six, well, I guess it's not for us in the workstation. So five six packs would give you 150 PRV. History major, yeah. Let's see, 30, no, 250 divided by 30. It'll be 9 6 packs. Thanks, Johnny. Johnny's our mathematician, apparently. What else? Wax, we got that. An air purifier. What else? Flower bundle. How many flowers would I have to sell?
Five, three,
14.
five, 3 packs and some change for the 250.
Yep. But remember, those bundles are changing. They're not going to be bundles anymore. You're just getting 10% off with
For the
six
flowers too? Is
for
the
the
flowers the same?
I'm pretty sure it's everything.
Yeah, it was, yeah, we calculated out. I was trying to remember what it was the other day. So it might just be five. There might not be any change.
Yeah. But there's not going to be a 3-pack bundle of flowers anymore. So it's $18 per. So 250 divided by 18 would be 14. But if you're getting more than six, you get 10% off.
No. 18 is minus $1.80.
Well, yeah, right.
And so that's 16.20, right?
Yep. So 250 divided by 1620. So it's 16 fragrance flowers. There we go. Oops, I was doing my math in the comments. Sorry. Yep. So the difference, the the thing that I'm finding the simplicity in the price changes is that we, with our customers, thankfully we have the buy five get one free bar still, right? That we can offer through our workstation. I have tons of customers that order online, don't bundle and save, and they just pay the $6 for the bars. They don't even care. I tell them and it's fine. So I think that that will be, I don't think you'll have a problem with that. If they're ordering from you individually, definitely you're going to offer that still, right? Because that's such a great perk and kind of a nice little thing for them to come to us to build that relationship, right?
And think about the
So,
potential opportunity to upsell there too, right? So if they're buying wax, see if you can
Yep.
get them to add on, a thing of cotton cleanups. There's
Yes.
six additional dollars PRV for the large one, I think four additional dollars PRV for the small ones, right? So you can
Right.
get creative with that to help fill that additional $50 gap.
Definitely.
so
I'm
I,
excited,
I,
Lindsay. I'm excited about the 10% off because I think it gives us more flexibility to play with the term bundle.
yeah.
It's all been so pre-packaged for us before. It really opens us up to lots of possibilities.
Yes. Definitely. I love that.
so I guess my concern with it is that I did some math and like 80% of my customers do not live anywhere around me at
Okay.
all. They all order online. They are
Okay.
online orders and a lot of them are they wait for sales and collections and things like that and
Oh,
they want to purchase those things whenever those things go live.
sure.
I can't order for them for flash sales to give them the deals that they always like to have.
Right.
And now that I have a full-time job for the first time in over a decade, I don't have the flexibility to purchase things when something like tomorrow. Like
Yeah.
I won't be on that sale. I can't take off because we were off for snow days and I have deadlines tomorrow. So I
Totally.
can't even like
Yeah.
jump on that sale thing tomorrow. So my concern with this going forward is I'm going to, because I'm very involved in my VIP group. I'm
Yeah.
going to be doing a live video with them and I'm going to explain all these things to them and be honest with them about, because that's who I've always been, very
Yeah.
authentic about these changes. But I know my customers so well that some of them are going to be not happy about it because I'm not going to have the ability to just order for them all the time because
Right.
I'm so busy during the week that I'm doing things on the weekend and scheduling all my stuff on the weekend and getting it. And if they're not wanting to wait, I'm just I'm struggling with all of that and I've it's been on my mind and all the other changes totally get all of that. That's economy. That's just the way. And like you touched on the 150 and I remember all of those changes,
Yeah.
almost 15 years with Cincy. I know all the changes,
Yeah.
but having two different prices in my heart is not settling well with me. And I have based my business all these years, and you know this firsthand, on customer service.
Yeah.
I value my customers
Yeah.
immensely. And the fact that I'm not going to be able to provide that service, but on my schedule, not theirs, is not settling with me. Like, and
So
so
the
I'm having a bit of trying to come up, and I've been like writing down what I'm going to say
yeah.
on this video and how I'm going to present it. Um, so that's my only, like, in all of this stuff, that is my only discrepancies with the changes, is that we
Oh,
have two different prices.
the only two different prices, just so I'm sure which ones you're talking about. It's only the bars, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Because everything
That's my
else is
number
just
one seller.
10%, right?
Yeah.
Even if they don't order through you and save buy five, get one free, right? I think it's a $2.50 difference.
Yes, it is. I did the math. Yeah.
So I would just approach it with, I'm happy to order for you to save you the 250. But this is, maybe you could say, I'm ordering every Friday is when I'm going to place an order.
I was just going to suggest the same thing. I have a girl that she does order Friday, and that's her customers all know that they can either order online during the week, or she'll be happy to provide them that service. But it's kind of for the convenience. It may take 4 extra days or whatever it might be. And Melinda, it sounds like you're doing a great job. I bet you money that they're all going to understand, and the ones that want to take advantage of that extra discount are going to be willing to wait the few extra days.
Yeah,
And
that's my hope. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a video. I'm going to wait till after World Tour because I wanted to see everybody get ideas, brainstorm.
yes,
That's why I made sure I jumped on this call, because typically I don't have time for, I'm so busy. And so I wanted to make sure that I set aside time, that I jumped on here so that I could brainstorm and hear what everybody's thoughts. And that's a great idea. But that might not be something I can do every week. Um,
Well,
sure.
and I was going to say the other thing with all these people that are ordering online, they're not quibbling about $10 of shipping.
Oh, a lot of
True.
my customers do. They
Well, but
still
I'm
complain to
saying,
me about it.
but those
So
that
I've
are
gotten a lot of
ordering,
them to
but
order
they're ordering
together.
online and they're still paying it. They might wish that it was cheaper, but they're still doing it.
Hey,
Yeah.
Melinda, could you maybe look at a potential pivot? Are you planning on sharing the fact that you would still be able to get the buy five, get one free on your, like if you were placing the order? Or could you instead have that as kind of and I know honesty is absolutely key in your world. So I I guess you would have to be okay with not sharing that part. But the way that I plan on doing it with like my group is that's going to be kind of a little bonus thing that I can do for them. And the way I'm presenting it is, in order for Sensi to not have to increase the prices on the bars like they had to do several years back. For instance, moving the price from 6 to 7, which again, that's an arbitrary number I've pulled. They've decided to go ahead and do a flat 10% discount, because if I think about adding a dollar, even if it was still buy five, get one free, that would be $35 as opposed to the 30. So doing this 10% discount is still saving them money, as opposed to if they had to raise the prices. So, and then I'm going to, for me, it's going to be if you're placing an order directly through me. And again, I have the benefit of a lot of local customers. That's just kind of an added little thank you that I'm going to be able to give to them, because I know they can't see that on the website. So they don't see what I'm doing on the back end. So that's kind of how I'm planning on presenting it to my team, or my VIP group, that this is going to a flat 10% to avoid raising prices, and letting them see that there's still that value with that 10% savings.
That's actually a very good idea, Jennifer. I like that. That's very Schooner tuna. I don't know if that's dating me, but from Mr. Mom, that's actually a very great way to present it. And of course, I will still be honest and let them know that whenever I can order for them, that this is what's going to happen. It's something that I know my customers, they are so comfortable with me, and I'm very blessed that they're comfortable with me, that they can complain and nitpick about things. And I've come back this far and this many years after with things.
Mhm.
So this, when I got the news of this, I just I was like, oh my gosh, just something else that I have to break to them. And so it's my customers that I'm more concerned with. It's not me, it's my customers. And so that's they don't live. If I had local customers, my goodness, it would be that's a no-brainer. But it's just the fact that 80% of them do not even live anywhere remotely within 100 miles of me. So
So there's two things I got this past week that kind of put this in perspective. My Costco membership went up $10 a year. And there was one other thing today that I got in my email that something was getting increased.
Netflix.
Netflix, yep. Um, Not to dismiss that it's not hard because I understand that it's hard, but I fully believe that as a society, everything has increased in price. Everything has gone up. Groceries have gone up. I mean, I spent like $8 on a dozen eggs at the grocery store the other day. I was like, what in the world? Like, but I need eggs. We eat eggs all the time. Like, so I'm gonna buy the eggs, right? And I understand that since he might not be as necessary as eggs, I get that. Um, but I think that at least I hope that our customers will be understanding and the way we deliver it, like Jen mentioned, there were options. Cincy had options, and they talked about that at leadership. They talked about, we could have increased the price of everything across the board. We could have sold the company. We could have gone affiliate. We could have, you name it. But they know the impact that Cincy has on our lives, and they know us, that they're not willing to walk away. They're willing to fight for it. And they're willing to help us as much as they can. I mean, they're closing down Capel for Pete's sake. Like, they're willing to close a facility that has been a huge shipping hub for us for years. And they're willing to find all of those people jobs. They're willing to like absorb them into the other warehouses if they're willing to move. They're helping them find employment there in Dallas if they can. So I think of all the options that they had, and I think that this might be probably the least impactful of the options, if that makes sense. Um, and I think that the products, the value that they have in people's lives is worth it, I think. But I understand completely the struggle of how to break the news for your people to your customers. Um, and I was thinking about the laundry stuff at leadership. I was like, I remember looking at my Cincy Club and going, oh, when did that go up in price by $5? I was like, oh, I missed that. So there have been things happen, but they aren't just like announced, I guess. I'm like, oh, I guess I started paying $45 for a tub of washer whiffs a while back, but didn't realize it. So hopefully that helps, Melinda. I hope that.
I was going to say, I think too, I know on my end, yeah, I've got customers that are going to be upset, but I've also gone into a lot of the changes kind of almost prejudging my customers. I mean, I remember when the bulbs were $1
Yeah,
and I would gift bulbs left and right, and my customers were begging me to let them pay for them at $1. And so when it shifted to two, it's like, okay, I just let them. I don't gift them anymore and they are totally fine. But I really thought, oh my gosh, and that was like the bar from $5 to $6.
yeah,
It's not the I guess the saving grace for us is we're not the only ones where there's a price increase. They're seeing it everywhere. I mean, heck, it costs $3.50 for a glass of tea at places, you
yeah,
know, and which costs them, what, 10 cents to make or something?
yeah. It's
And we still buy it.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
I
it,
love I love
yeah.
breaking things down um into smaller achievable um buckets, if you will. Small size, bite size to help us achieve those goals that we have. I know at the beginning of the call, we talked about what are your goals? What are you wanting to do this year? All of those come with um, an action of some sort. Adding teammates come with action, right? Having joint conversations, maybe getting to director. That comes with action. That comes with selling the products. That comes with motivating your team. That comes with team members being a team player and connecting and selling products as well. Being active every month, as Kelsey said, that comes with breaking it down into those small bite-sized pieces that you can achieve. Being consistent with your title or with your sales, that comes with small actionable action items that you can do. Break it down into those bite-sized pieces. I see all the time people posting like a paper with this is the goal and they cross it off as they get down lower and lower to achieving that goal. If that works for you, do that. If sharing on social media your goal is what works for you and gets your customers to support you, then do that. It just takes time. And if you're willing to put in the time to achieve these goals or these dreams or desires that you have for your business and for yourself, then you should be willing to do whatever it takes. You should be willing to do the work that it takes to do that. You should be willing to get uncomfortable. You should be willing to get out of the house. You should be willing to make those phone calls, to send those texts, to follow up, to connect with new customers, to meet new people to achieve that. So you have to ask yourself, hopefully you wrote down that goal. You have to ask yourself, am I willing to do the work to get to whatever that goal is? Am I willing to do the things that I know I need to do? Maybe you've been doing this a long time, maybe you've been doing it a short time, but we all know the work that it takes to get active every month. We all know the work that it takes to get 2,500 in PRV. We all know the work that it takes to get paid at director or to achieve director or fill in the blank, right? What holds us back is the incremental steps, those bite-sized pieces that lead us to getting to where we want to go. And it's us in our heads or the little devil on our shoulder saying, you're not good enough, you can't do it. No one will say yes, right? All of those negative things that come at us that we have to push aside and be like, nope, no, 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 I am good enough. I am fun to be around. People like me. I like people. I connect with people. I have a service to provide for people that will bring joy to their days. I have a product that's consumable, so people are going to keep coming back and buying it over and over and over. And that's what we have to tell ourselves. We have to tell ourselves the good, the positive, and that we are good enough to accomplish those goals and dreams that we have for ourselves and for our life. Because it's true. I believe it. Have seen it. I continue to see it day in and day out. People setting a goal and achieving that goal. People having a desire to accomplish X and then they actually do it. We have to be the difference maker in our business. We have to be the ones that make the difference. I can't sell the products for you. I might be able to lead you to the trough of water, right? But I can't drink the water for you. I can't get you to go meet 10 new customers today. I can't get you to pick up your phone and text someone about, hey, do you want to order? Do you need any Scentsy? I can't do that for you. Billy Joe can't do that for Pat. Kelsey can't do it for Bonnie. Johnny can't do it for Michelle. Like, that's not how it works. It's not how it works. We have to realize that we have a desire And if that desire is big enough, you're going to do whatever it takes to accomplish that. Since it can be the vehicle that gets you there, but you have to be on the bus. Like you have to be in the boat and move because the boat is going to go whether you're in it or not. So that's what you have to ask yourself. Do I want to be in the boat? Do I want to do this? Do I want to achieve that goal? Am I going to flick this little devil off my shoulder who keeps telling me I'm not good enough or I can't do it or nobody's going to say yes? You have to get out of your head and you have to put in the time and do the work, and you will achieve great things. So, with that, I'm going to turn off our recording. Don't go anywhere. I'm not going to end the call.